On the morning of January 3rd, 2026, the global geopolitical landscape shifted dramatically following a U.S. military operation in Caracas that led to the capture of President Nicolas Maduro. While the Trump administration framed the strikes as a surgical law enforcement operation to execute long-standing criminal indictments, the move targeted the world's largest proven oil reserves, totaling approximately 303 billion barrels. This intervention occurred at a critical juncture for the petrodollar system, which has served as the foundation of American economic hegemony, but now faces existential threats from a rising tide of de-dollarization and the expansion of the BRICS bloc. This analysis explores the systemic roots of this conflict, the paradoxes of the reserve currency, and the digital evolution of oil trade. The architecture of the current global financial order was established in 1974 following the Nixon Shock, where the U.S. dollar's convertibility into gold was ended. To stabilize the currency, a secret agreement was reached with Saudi Arabia, ensuring that all global oil sales would be priced exclusively in U.S. dollars. This created a cycle known as petrodollar recycling, where oil-producing nations reinvested their massive dollar surpluses into U.S. Treasury bonds. This system ensured a constant global demand for the dollar, allowing the United States to run significant trade deficits and fund its military-industrial complex without the inflationary pressures typically faced by other nations. However, the petrodollar system is built upon a fundamental paradox known as the Triffin Dilemma. To provide the world with enough liquidity for global trade, the reserve currency issuer, the United States, must run persistent trade deficits to send dollars abroad. Over decades, these chronic deficits have led to a staggering national debt exceeding $34 trillion, which eventually undermines international confidence in the currency's long-term stability. The 2026 intervention in Venezuela represents a forceful attempt to resolve this dilemma by seizing control of oil infrastructure to artificially sustain dollar demand and lower domestic energy costs. At Finance Timekeeper, our mission is to decode these intricate systemic shifts. We provide deep dive analysis into the intersection of global finance and high-stakes geopolitics, helping you understand the underlying clockwork of the global economy. As the world transitions toward a multipolar financial order, Finance Timekeeper offers the insights necessary to navigate the volatility of an era where traditional monetary standards are being challenged by both military power and technological innovation. In recent years, the U.S. has faced a digital mutiny from an alliance of sanctioned nations, often referred to as the axis of evasion. Venezuela, mirroring tactics used by Russia and Iran, began bypassing the dollar-dominated SWIFT system by utilizing cryptocurrencies and stablecoins like USDT for oil transactions. By 2025, the Venezuelan state oil company, PDVSA, mandated digital wallets for new spot oil deals, allowing heavy crude to flow to independent Chinese refineries outside the reach of Western financial oversight. This digital shift provided a strategic lifeline for the Maduro regime and directly challenged the petrodollar's role as the exclusive medium for energy trade. The 2026 U.S. strategy aims to crash global oil prices to the mid-$50s per barrel by flooding the market with Venezuelan crude. While intended to combat domestic inflation, this surgical intervention has created a stress test for the American shale model. Experts warn that sustained prices at the $50 mark could squeeze the margins of efficient Permian Basin operators, potentially leading to production declines and layoffs in the domestic U.S. energy sector. This highlights the high-stakes gamble of the Trump administration's energy policy, lowering consumer costs at the potential expense of domestic energy independence. Simultaneously, the U.S. has intensified its economic pressure on the BRICS nations, with President Trump threatening 100% tariffs on any country that moves to replace the dollar in international trade. Despite these threats, BRICS countries are continuing to develop alternative payment platforms, such as Bridge, and are increasing the use of local currencies for bilateral trade. This economic bifurcation is creating two distinct financial blocks, the dollar-centric West and a multipolar East, utilizing gold and digital assets to achieve strategic autonomy from U.S. sanctions. The global reaction to the Caracas strikes has been overwhelmingly critical, with the UN Security Council holding emergency sessions to denounce the crime of aggression. Leaders from Brazil, China, and Russia have labeled the intervention a grave affront to sovereignty and a return to an era of lawlessness. While the U.S. maintains the action was a legitimate law enforcement operation, international legal experts argue it sets a dangerous precedent for resource-driven invasions. As the petrodollar evolution continues, the events in Venezuela serve as a definitive marker for the end of a stable global order and the birth of a far more volatile, multipolar world. If you found this analysis from Finance Timekeeper valuable, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into global finance. We want to hear from you. Do you believe the U.S. can save the petrodollar through force? Or is the shift to a digital, multipolar world inevitable? Share your thoughts in the comments below and share this report with those who need to see the real story behind the